we're going to be doing, folks, is we're going to be taking a walk around Wall Street. And I'm going to go into the S&P 100 first. Look at the broad-based buying on the first day of the month. It's broad-based. You can see it here. And you can. And it's all green. S&P 500. And it's the first day of the month. And this is about that bull commitment that we keep talking about. That's why the bears have got to be careful, and the bulls have got to be careful too. But what we're looking for is what this is about. S&P 500. S&P mid cap, all positive. Small cap, S&P small cap, all positive. All positive. Broad base. Let's go into the automobile parts. Global auto suppliers. Let's see how they're faring. It's a mixed bag, but they got more green on the tape. Okay? Global auto manufacturers. These are your big global auto manufacturers, and people seem to be wanting to go in there. Nonetheless, we're looking for the broad-based buying. Biotechnology. Biotechnology. Here we go. Broad-based buying in the biotechnology. Morgan Stanley Biotech. And a smaller scale. These companies here that say NA have been bought out. But we got broad-based buying. Another thing, the full NASDAQ. This is the whole NASDAQ biotech sector right here. And there's broad-based buying. Now, the drug index, of course, we got broad-based buying. And that's like GlaxoSmithKline leading the way. And the pharmaceuticals, which is a little bit different. Some of this, you got Merck, Amgen in here, but look at the broad-based buying. Let's keep going down the chain. Let's go to energy and resource materials. And remember, today's date is 2/1/2011, and at 7:47 a.m., the market's only not even been quite open an hour and a half, and we're taking a look at that hour and a half broad-based buying. FCX leading the way. Fund managers wanting to own equities. The exuberance is there. Commodity-related equities that have been beaten down on 2/1, obviously they're coming in. The natural gas story, well, I can't say. Well, now they're finally wanting to come back in that natural gas. That Amex oil, because of the things in the Middle East, we got broad-based buying. Deutsche Bank Energy, broad-based buying in this energy patch where people try to get dividends and fund managers do their little pinky dinky. Now, that's all for them. That's a different style of doing things. Oil services, very important to see where some of them oil services, broad-based buying. But here, let's get into the financial services. Look at, this is what we said could take the market higher. If you were going to get above 1,300 on the S&P, and we said it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it's going to take that financials. Here's the complete NASDAQ banking index. All of them in the NASDAQ component, the big component there. Look at the broad-based buying. Look at the broad-based buying. Okay, so you can see, and it's going to take this S&P banking index, broad-based buying across the beaten down sector, and this is what's going to take the markets higher. If you don't see this, you're not going above 13. We're 1301 on the S&P. It's going to take that right there. The 11,985 on the Dow, it's going to take some Dow components. Security broker dealers, all green. So people are going in here. In the XBDX, okay, broad-based buying. Let's go down to, let's just keep going right down here. Fertilizers are hot as a pistol. We got broad-based buying. Food processing stocks, let's take a minute. Let's see here. Well, you got some broad-based buying. What does it mean? Money's trying to find a home in the short term. That's what it means. So we're able to take a look at it. Let's take a look at the healthcare. Morgan Stanley Healthcare Index. We got broad-based buying. This is all in the first hour of the new month. The casino index. We got broad-based buying. Lots of opportunities. Shorting intraday, going long. This is the kind of tape. Real estate, beaten down. Housing sector. You even got them buying that. Look at them. You got them buying that. Broad-based buying in the beaten down. HGX. Look at it. People are wanting to go there. Morgan Stanley REIT Index. Let's take a look and see if it populates. Better yet, the Dow Jones REITs are good. That's a mixed bag because there's a different bag, but you got a little bit of buying. Forest Products and Paper. Let's see if they populate. We got broad-based buying. Cyclicals. Morgan Stanley cyclicals. That's where money trying to find a home. in the cyclicals, FedEx, FCX, different ways that things are, Honeywell, the Dow, you got various, different types of stocks, but this is where that money is trying to go. But here, let's take a look at the Morgan Stanley consumer. That's a consumer area. Right now, they're putting money to work, looking for dividends they are. So in the Morgan Stanley retail, because we're extremely overbought here too now, but you can see that there's a little bit of base buying there. They've done well. Semiconductor, there are different kinds. A GSTI semiconductor, it's a broad base NASDAQ comp. Semiconductors are in there. They throw in a few of the others. It's kind of a mixed bag. Semiconductors need to lead rallies. If you're going to go higher in the market, you need to see it out of there. This Philly Semiconductor Index is all green. In the old days, it always was. Semiconductors lead the way. Broad-based buying there. Semiconductor capital equipment type stocks. We got broad-based buying there. SIG Semiconductor Device. All broad-based buying. They're really humping. Oh, let's get down to one of our favorites. Let's get down to the CBO Internet stocks. Let's see. It takes a minute to populate. CBO Internet. Here, let's go to the CBO Technology. Buying. Credit First Technology. Got all green. Okay, computer technology. In the computer technology area of these names, they're producing well in the first half. Disk drives, let's take a look at those. They want to own some of those. So let's take a look at the Dow Jones Internet Conference. All green. You got Priceline, Google, Amazon, Netflix, Blue Nile, eBay's in here, Yahoo's in here, Web, WBMD, but you got broad-based buying in that one. Let's take a look at the GSTI component. Got Google leading the way right here. All green. All broad-based buying in that index. That's called the GSTI composite. And that's where money is trying to find a home. They're trying to, now let's go to the hardware. It's very important. Hardware up. Now let's go to the GSTI Internet. Google, Amazon, Netflix, Expedia, ValueClick, InfoSpace is in here. We got, fairly decent buying going on here. So let's take a look at multimedia. Multimedia, they're really hunky-dory there on some of these names. They don't move a lot, but they're still positive. Broad-based buying. Broad-based buying in the services, GSTI. What about the software? I've got nothing but buying. That's what you want to know. Let's go to the interactive weak internet. Now that's Baidu, Google, Priceline, FFIV, lots of them. Broadcom is in there, semiconductor. It's made up of different things that are in there. Morgan Stanley, Internet. Got a lot of the same ones. Broad-based buying. Morgan Stanley Technology Index. Look at that technology index flying. That means that these bull ETFs are working off of their current last sell side that they have. Here you are in the networking space, the Junipers, the Ciscos. You got a little bit of broad-based buying. They don't move a lot. But let's take a look at the fiber optic networks. Are they trying to come back there? Nope. What about the technology? That's called the PCX Technology Index. It's another technology index. A lot of the same names, but they put them in there. They're weighted nicely, got all green. And that's how you see the commitment. Let's take a look at transports. Airlines are important. Airlines all positive. Most important is that Dow Transports that we talked about. You had to see buyers come in there in order for the market to move higher. NASDAQ Transportation, we did live videos on the last pullbacks. Buying opportunity came in. Remember, the day's date, 2/1/21, new money, NASDAQ Telecom. All green. They're moving into the telecoms as well. North American Telecom Index, which is Verizon and some of these other type of stocks that are in here that, are okay. But listen, there's some buying going on there. Let's get into the utilities. The Dow Jones Utility Index, we got broad-based buying across the board. Let's go to the Philly Index. That's a utility index. You got broad-based buying in a utility index. Now, having said all of that, we've taken a good look around the various different sectors around Wall Street. Dow Jones utilities are moving, well, it's kind of a mixed bag. The Dow Jones Composite is all green. And these are the names in the Dow Jones Composite, okay? And that's what we're looking for. And we're looking for That Dow is where, you know, the old economy type stocks are there. GE is in here. Well, lots of them are here. They're a good mix and a good bag. Got Caterpillar in here. Doesn't matter. The gainers are FedEx, UPS. That's a nice thing. So when we take a look at the NASDAQ comp, we take a look at the NASDAQ financials. This is the NASDAQ Financial 100 Index. We want to see that this is all green for one reason. NASDAQ, you need the financials and the semis to help push to new highs. And you're getting that across the board right now. People want to put money in there. The other thing we're going to look at is the insurance sector, the NASDAQ insurance sector, and they're buying in there. And basically, the one of the things that we like is this NASDAQ 100. This NASDAQ 100 is all green, my friends. Look at it. And that's what we want to see. That's where the bull that I kept talking about, you want to see money commit. They're going to show up. And they show up because what they want to do is the people that are trying to play catch up from last year, people that didn't really perform in that choppy January 2011 trade, is trying to take advantage of getting a quick start here. My MMTs. And the thing about it is, on the Amex, that's a different market altogether. The primary session is that we're going to look at that gap open up in the Amex. Very mixed bag on that Amex. On that gap open down, that's the gap open down. The gap open up in the Amex is quite positive. TA, you know, I mean, it's the Amex now. And they're all 3-digit symbols, but they're up. So there's money moving into that index right there, and that's a very important thing to understand. That was your gap open list in that Amex now, 3-digit symbols. So there's lots of great opportunities for shorting and going long on pullbacks when new money's coming into the marketplace. That's the walk around Wall Street.